same-sex marriage, and Minnesotans deserve the same right.
Senator Marty, I watched this commercial at home last night on YouTube also, and they say that you're trying to impose gay marriage on Minnesota. What do you want to say to that?
I say that's pretty sad interpretation on their part. My marriage is something they say they would really respect. My wife and I have been married almost 30 years now. Our son's graduating from college, our daughter's in divinity school, wonderful kids, wonderful family, the kind of thing they say they respect. But they're not about respecting families and marriage. They're out preventing other marriages. And they're the ones who want to impose their will on others. They want to say, you cannot marry the person you love. We're not trying to do that. I don't want to impose gay marriage on anybody. I want people to choose their own partners in life. And frankly, they can't win at what they're trying to do. Not only are they the wrong side of history in terms of legalizing gay marriage, but they can't stop loving couples from falling in love. If two women fall in love with each other, they can't stop that. They can't stop them from making a lifelong commitment to each other. They can't stop them from raising children. They can't stop them from living their lives. The only thing they can do is prevent them from getting the legal recognition that everybody else gets and discriminate against them. And that's wrong. And that's why it's so outrageous what they're trying to do with their massive advertising buy. They're trying to raise fear.
What is the role of government then with marriage and with the church?
The role of government in marriage should be just to treat everybody fairly and equally. If people want to have a religious commitment in their church, in their faith tradition, that's wonderful. That's a religious belief. And I don't want to force those folks' churches to have to perform same-sex marriages. Nobody would. I just don't want them to have government block other churches from being able to perform the marriages they want to have. What government should do is treat everybody equally. Treat all faiths equally. And just as when the U.S. Supreme Court said that you cannot have laws banning interracial marriage, which some of these same churches 40 years ago were saying was immoral because they couldn't have race mixing, but the same arguments they used 40 years ago against interracial marriages they're using now against same-sex marriages. And the bottom line is nobody ever forced them to perform an interracial marriage. Many of them would now 40 years later. 40 years from now, many of them will probably perform same-sex marriages. But it's not the government's role to prohibit. That's the worst thing government can do. The most intrusive thing government can do is tell churches who they can or cannot marry.